and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers. I'm Chris McGee, joined by Big Game James Worthy, Robert Ory, Mike Bresnahan. Allie did the pregame show. She's at home watching. We appreciate that. Mike Trudell is in the Bay Area. He's going to take care of all the post-game interviews. Hopefully we get some guys. Yeah. Because the preseason is in the books. Lakers lose to the Warriors up in Northern California. They sit 8 of their top 9 guys in preparation for the season opener, which is going to be on Tuesday here in Los Angeles against the Minnesota Timberwolves. 2 players, though, that did get a lot of run, Bronny James and Quincy Oliveri. Bronny James had his best game, 17 points. Oliveri had 22. Big game. Let's start with Bronny. He got extended run and did a nice job.
I think as soon as he calms down and gets some of the attention off of him and just starts to relax. We talked about it pregame a little bit. Kind of unfair, all the attention he's been getting. And I think one of the first times tonight he played a little bit relaxed. You know, didn't rush everything, took the shots that came to him. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, preseason game, the outcome wasn't what I'm sure the team wanted, but he got some run, and there you go. 17 points, 7 for 17.
Get to talk to Steph, too. Steph's giving him a little love.
Uncle Steph.
Oh, yeah. You know, this is one of those games where you can, like, get these guys a chance to come out and play a little bit, get a little rust off. You know, and also, when you watch guys that are trying to make a team, in those first couple of games, you don't really get a chance to see what they can do. This is a chance to watch them against, you know, different competition. Because in practices are easy sometimes because you know the play and you can either cheat on defense or what. Now, in this case, you know, are you able to understand the game plan? Are you able to go out and execute? So I think this was a great way for the coaching staff to assess these guys to see who they're going to keep, you know, or let go.
Bronny talked to Trudell before the game, talked about how much he's learning and coming to work every day and dream come true. And, you know, tonight he got to play a lot of minutes and probably looked the most comfortable he has and it was a big part of it, so that was fun.
Amazing how that works. You know, the more you play, the more comfortable you look and act.
Your holds, but I feel like every couple years, you know, in the preseason, there's a guy that kind of pops up on the radar that you just want to root for. He seems to be that guy, James, great personality. He did everything he could when he was out there. He got buckets, he played hard, had that smile. You saw him right there getting a picture with Steph. You know, he doesn't know if he's ever going to be on that court with him again. So, but I'm rooting for a guy like that.
So am I, Geeter. Yeah. He's hungry. Okay, you can tell the guy's hungry. When he's on the court, you know, early in preseason, I know it's only preseason, but it means a lot to him. To him, it's as if he were playing in the playoffs right now because he's really, you see the great smile there. He has skills. He has a good shot, very offensive minded. And, you know, I like him. I like his game. Look at, you know, the comparison right there, preseason. Oliveri has a lot of potential, in my opinion.
And by the way, Geet, the most important number there for Bronny, 35 minutes. I mean, that's a lot of PT right there, Rob. That's impressive. And Quincy, his story just gets better and better. I mean, he played 4 years at Rice. He transferred to Xavier as a graduate student. All he did there was set the single-season record for threes. Now, he's not with the Lakers, technically. He's on what they call an Exhibit 10. So he'll be with the South Bay Lakers. Lakers have no room on the big roster. They got 15 full-time players, so to speak. But a fun game for him as well. It's been fun to watch both those guys tonight, Keith.
All right, let's talk about a couple of guys that will be playing on Tuesday now that the preseason is over. And Tuesday is upon us, guys, LeBron and AD. It was a great summer for both of them. They won gold for Team USA. Both came in physically and mentally ready for the season. They had a great preseason when they did play. Big game, let's start with LeBron James, year 22. I mean, I know we've talked a lot about it in these last few weeks, especially on Media Day. But it's just truly incredible to see the guy in year 22 look just like the guy was in year 16 and 17. So, I mean, the expectations are the same, right? Yeah. It's still LeBron James.
Yeah, LeBron's going to be LeBron. We know what to expect, and we know what he can do. I think his biggest challenge now is, along with AD, is to see how they can ignite this team for 82 games. That's a big challenge right there, and win the games they're supposed to win. That's leadership. And sometimes it comes within. The coach will do all he can do. We talked about in the past, the games that they've lost that they should have won. I think that's his biggest challenge right now is seeing he can keep this team above water. Like Rob said in pregame, you know, when the game's supposed to win, you don't want to be looking back. And that's going to make it easier on him in February, in March, in April. You remember they had to win some games. He had to play a lot of minutes. They don't want that. So his biggest challenge right now going forward, we know he's going to play well, is how can he lead this team and keep them above water, you know, early in the season.
For me, it's so important to start this season off right because you want to put fear in other opponents. You know, especially when you're playing at home, you want to let them know it's not going to be an easy task for you to come up in our house and win. And for me, that is the biggest key because, you know, last year, the Lakers would get these leads, and it was almost like they didn't have them because next thing you know, they give them up. You know, that's all the mentality that you got to approach these games with. You know, I know J.J. Redick is probably going to be like, because he was a commentator, so he see these leads evaporate. And for me, if I'm J.J., I'm saying, I sat there and I saw these. I don't want any of this partying, any of these antics when we up, unless it's fourth quarter and we walking off the court as a win. And that's the sign of a mature team. That's the sign of a championship team. And for me, the mindset has to be right going in these first games. You get that mindset right, the body will follow.
AD has looked so sharp in this preseason. I mean, 35 points last night. Looked like he was barely sweating out there. I mean, maybe this really is the year where the offense is finally transferred, with LeBron's blessing, over to AD. I mean, LeBron started saying this a few years ago. Yeah, AD, let him do the offense. Let the offense go through him. New coaching staff. Now maybe it's finally the year where it happens. And if so, AD looks great. I mean, bump him up on your fantasy draft a few spots, Geek, because he's top 5 player for sure right now.
Yeah, I do want to talk about AD next. So, listen, he had a huge year last year, played in the 76 games. Do you think he can up that from what he did last year? Not in terms of the how many games, but in terms of the level in a new system with JJ?
Yeah. Yeah, every year you come back.
Year?
Every year you come back, you want to up it a little bit. And with the offense being run through him, I mean, yeah, I'd be looking for everything. I'd be looking for numbers, aggressiveness. You know, I would want the ball. I would, you know, be like most big centers when they don't touch the ball. A few possessions, they come and let everybody know I need to feel it a few times. So yeah, I mean, he didn't have anything to prove as a player, great player. But as far as achievement, I think his mindset is there this year.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, I look at, you know, a couple years ago when he had all those injuries. You know, people won't say this, but he came in the season not in great shape. Last year, he came in great shape. This year, he looks in great shape. And that's how you start the season now, with no nagging injuries, which cause you to tweak other things and cause another injury on a different part of the body. And for me, I think AD has to go into this year mad. Mad he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year the last 2 years. Mad he hasn't won the MVP trophy. Because I remember when Shaq won the MVP, he went into that season mad that he hadn't done anything. He hadn't won a championship. AD has a championship. But you got to go into this season mad and out to prove something. And you don't wait till like, you know, we're going to wait till All-Star break. No, you started out now, so you put fear in people's heart. So you have those AD-itis. AD-itis mean when you coming in, the guy who's supposed to guard him got AD-itis. That means he's sick.
Also, he's got a migraine?
Yeah, also he's sick and don't want to play.
Downgraded the doubtful.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to be, man. That's what AD has to be.
I like that. AD-itis.
So, Brez, something you've talked a lot about. Do you think they need help at that position?
Well, yeah.
Free up AD a little bit?
Yeah, well, it depends on what happens with Christian Wood. Okay, we're supposed to get another update on him in a couple of weeks. He hasn't played much at all this offseason. Right now, it's just AD and Jackson Hayes. You know, Christian Koloko, who the Lakers signed to a 2-way deal, which will allow him to play 50 games at the NBA level. He has yet to be cleared medically by an NBA medical panel. So, you know, got to wait on that, see if that happens. If you get him, fine, you're good. He's a 2-way player, good shot blocker, good rebounder. Right now, it's just Jackson and AD. So yeah, but again,
interesting to see.
But again, there's 15 guys on the roster, 15 full-timers, so to speak. So there's really no wiggle room. You might say, hey, you know, trade one of those players, 2 of them, you know, get someone here. Hasn't happened yet. And if you cut a guy, that guy still gets paid. It still counts towards the salary cap. And if you sign another guy, you're going to go into that second apron. So right now, the 15 is what you see.
All right, let's head back to San Francisco. J.J. Redick is speaking with Mike Trudell in the media.
Yeah, JJ, you knew it was going to be tough from a result standpoint, just given Golden State's lineup and yours. But did you see some bright spots like in Quincy and in Bronny, still find their way to be largely efficient and get some shots off against their basically their best defensive group, even with Steph out?
Certainly, there were some bright moments. Yeah, bright moments. Probably look at it a little more holistically and not individually. All those guys that played tonight, we have had some great days with them in the gym throughout the summer. They've all had practices where they've really stood out. A number of the guys that played tonight were instrumental in the Milwaukee comeback. We collectively just didn't have it tonight. I thought, I obviously can do a better job trying to get us easier baskets, but just didn't have it. And I think overall, I'm encouraged by the growth that we've had as a group, and we'll be better. We'll be better.
JJ, you spoke before the game about how the preseason's been a little bit uneven. As you get ready for Tuesday's opener, how much do you feel like you'll be able to take out of all the stuff that you've tried to put in the preseason versus just now it's game one, you got to get the result. Here's the specific game plan, and I know you go a lot of ways with that, but just curious.
No, our group is ready to play in the regular season. We'll have 2 practices on Sunday and Monday to sharpen some things up and to have a couple new installs for just different defensive coverages. But our group's ready to play. We've as a whole, we've built the foundation to go play a regular season game.
JJ, to go from big picture back to focusing on tonight, Bronny, after struggling shooting the ball through the bulk of the preseason, had a more efficient night. And if you think back to the summer league, he kind of struggled offensively through the beginning of it and had a stronger performance to end it. Just as a coaching staff, how do you feel about him having that as a building block as he goes into the next stage of the season?
Yeah, I think for him and all our younger players, they're all the moments are building blocks, not just the good moments. The bad moments are learning opportunities. I think you have to have a level of patience, a level of optimism. I am very confident in the level of work that our young guys have had. So, again, I think, for him, I'm sure it felt good to, I don't know, what do you have, 17 points? Yeah, I'm sure it felt good to have 17 points. I'm not even remotely concerned about that. It's not even on my radar. Like, we're trying to help him grow into a great basketball player. I'm sure he feels good about it, and he should. That's important for, I think, every basketball player that's ever touched the court, is to score points. But some of the other stuff, I've seen real improvement and some attention to detail, and I've seen that from all our young guys. So yeah, I'm encouraged by all of it.
JJ, one of the things you've spoken about, players have spoken about, though, is competitiveness and having that every day. Opportunities for playing time for some of these guys in the preseason is pretty limited. Did you feel like they were there competitively enough today?
We talked about it as a group at halftime. I don't think the level of competitiveness was up to our standard, what we've tried to establish and what we've talked about, and frankly what we've done in September and what we've done in preseason so far. They know that. I don't need to belabor the point.
Hi, Yayin. Here. I'd like to know your thoughts about Bronny in terms of what's happening off the court. I mean, all the pressure that he can receive. How is he managing that part of the game, because he is who he is?
yes, he's a very grounded young man who is very coachable and has a very good head on his shoulders. It's a couple conversations that I've had with him just about, what it's like to be him. And I'm sure there's some amazing.
Welcome back to HoopZone Sport News, where we bring you all the latest and greatest from the NBA. Today, we're diving into a huge moment for the Los Angeles Lakers, and none other than Bronny James. In their preseason clash against the Warriors, Bronny dropped 17 points, showcasing some serious potential. But despite his effort, the Lakers took a tough 32-74 loss. What does this mean for the future? Let's break it down. So, Bronny James finally got some extended playing time, and it paid off. Scoring 17 points, Bronny was calm, collected, and you could see him growing more comfortable on the court. It's clear he's working through the pressure that comes with being LeBron's son, but today, he stepped out of that shadow, if only for a moment. James Worthy mentioned how Bronny has been handling the immense attention, and tonight's performance is proof that he's settling in. But let's not forget Quincy Oliver, who also had an outstanding night with 22 points. Both young players showed their hunger, proving they've got what it takes to fight for a spot in the league. James Worthy also touched on something interesting, how these preseason games are critical for guys like Bronny and Oliver. With the Lakers sitting 8 of their top 9 players, these guys got a real opportunity to prove themselves, and they didn't disappoint. But now the real question is, can Bronny keep this level of play going into the regular season? The preseason might be over, but the Lakers still have some big decisions to make. Who's going to get those crucial minutes? Will Bronny continue to shine when the lights are brightest? All right, I want to hear from you. What do you think of Bronny James's performance? Do you think he's got what it takes to be a key player for the Lakers this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation started. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on HoopZone Sport News.